Everyone across the nation seems to be suffering from a form of self-flagellation. The whole situation is a disgrace and we can't let the message get misunderstood. That's black, white, brown, wealthy, and people from the hood. The noise is being made. We don't want to survive, we want to live, from the free man Solomon Northup in 12 Years a Slave. Unlike Common said, it's not a letter to the free. It's persuasive pressure to take the plea. The system ain't right, this could happen to you, to him, to her, or to me. We need a new type of hand in hand. A type where we show compassion, not try to reprimand, put in cuffs, cell doors slammed. Have you ever thought of a living hell? Have you ever thought about your life slipping away in a 6x8 cell? Because that sounds kind of similar. For a lot of young black men across the world, they are familiar with hell on earth. There needs to be a new birth of a nation. One where you're not incriminated by your race and incarcerated, sprayed with mace and guns pointing at your face, threatened to be tased unless you behave. But you're not resisting, you're just insisting that you didn't do it because you know you didn't, but guilty until proven innocent in America is a given. Open your phone, your web, your browser. Please type in and never forget the name, Kalief Browder. Failed by the system, no justice. Just his desire and willpower to make it through. To show the world he isn't a fool and another black man who will just take the plea bargain too. You don't want to be harassed. You don't want to be judged by the colour of your skin but by the content of your character. Is that too much to ask? Martin Luther King Jr. didn't seem to think so. Under him, the civil rights movement began to grow, began to flourish. A future full of hope on the horizon. Black mothers began to nourish their babies. We're not slaves, we are just people who have a voice. Do you understand or care about what's being said? Evidently not, because Martin Luther King took a bullet to his head. In 1968, how could a man who preached so much love receive so much hate for wanting to be heard? To be fucking heard. Some people think that is absurd, that a man of his complexion won't take rejection and wants to ask the question, why am I treated differently? It's not a sin to be black. Yet even in the year 2020, black families are still suffering from the drug epidemic in the 80s. We've all heard about crack. Respect existence or expect resistance. I'm insisting on some assistance because this is not going to happen on its own. The injustice tree is overgrown. It needs to be taken out from the roots. And if Kunta Kinte could have his say, he'd say we need some more recruits because this has been going on for way too long. There also needs to be some accountability in these communities where there is a lack of unity and young kids need a change of heart. Young kids need a better start. Fuck neighbourhood violence. Stop your area being silenced by being something to aspire to. Hopefully young black men can look at you and say, you know what, that could be me too. I'm not a piece of data, I'm not another stat. I've been to school, worked hard, got an education, and that's another fact. So we need to focus on moving forward. And that's not just speaking up because you feel like you'll be socially rewarded. And that's also not sympathy. It's just simply respect. While we wait for the answer to the question, what's next? But let's not wait for that. Let's make it everyone's mission to eradicate division. If we want to create the world in our own vision, we need to educate, read, converse, and listen. I didn't stutter and I didn't stammer. We need to start soon to make Black Lives Matter. And as a matter of fact, we should start today to keep humanity intact. Because black kids need to be shown that they're more to society than just a delinquent who misbehaves. We need to remind them that they're strong, black, beautiful, and brave.